Hello and
Killing it
welcome
today,
to Sunkissed Vampire Masquerade 5th Edition TTRPG campaign. We are getting closer and closer to the finale, the end. Oh god, I'm not used to saying this as the Wandering Inn. Wandering Inn, hey, hello.
I love the name.
Me too.
Such a good name.
I don't understand the wandering part. I see occasionally someone is like, oh, look who wandered in, and I'm like, but it's wandering. You wander in, you don't wander in.
That's just people not knowing the words.
Maybe
They just don't know the words, man. They're just God.
Judging some pronunciation. Wow.
I do that a lot.
it's spelling because it's WO instead of WA.
That's true. They're almost homonyms.
Phenomenon.
Phenomenal.
So, we are here today, standing before you, or sitting is more accurate, to bring another episode. Let's go around and talk to people before we get into the show. Let's start with... Damn it, I saw it. Tess Aquila, go. Tess Aquila.
Damn it, I was almost safe. I was
looking and I saw like Tash taking a drink down, and I was like, damn it, I missed my chance.
I spilled, so I'm glad.
Oh my god, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much. GP, I was literally about to say the other name. I am the worst. Hi. I am Tess or Tessica or Tessa. I am all over the place every day. I stream on my channel usually on Saturdays, but today I'm doing an evening stream because I couldn't stream this weekend because things. And yeah, that's about it. Oh, I do Borderlands stuff on the Borderlands channel a lot. There's some crazy stuff going on tomorrow and this weekend. And then I have surgery next Monday. Fun, but it's my last one, so I'm really excited to be done. That's all I got.
Oh, okay. Moving onwards and downwards, technically speaking, to Hydra. Hey, what's up, bud?
Hola, what's up? How's it going and stuff? I'm doing good. I've given up my fling with Alexa and exchanged that momentary pleasure for masterclass.com. I'm not sponsored by them, but I've been binging creative writing stuff on there, and absolutely blah is my brain with all of the stuff from it, but it's been great. So you could expect a lot more GM tip videos based on story writing and adventure and drama writing. Not from what I am good at, but from what I'm reading and paraphrasing into my own thoughts. So yeah, that should be fun. Got the first video out on Roll Corruption, so go check it out. Seems to have been well received.
Sweet.
And yeah, some really good writers on there. Neil Gaiman, Dan Brown, some of the big ones, but yeah, top stuff.
I do like Neil Gaiman. Just throwing shade at Dan Brown for no reason.
Yeah, no, it's fair. Fair.
I remember in my English classes, whenever it was, because we had like literature and language, right? English lit and English language.
Yeah.
This is UK stuff. I don't know if it's the same in other countries. I remember in English literature, whenever they were like talking about poems or especially stories, and they're talking about like the meaning behind the words they chose and etc. I was always like, what if it's just a coincidence and they just did it, and then later on they realized like this happened in Sunkissed a few times where I've accidentally done something and everyone is like, oh, that means that, and I'm like, yeah. Sure, that's what I meant.
Foreshadowing.
You know what? I've heard that a few times when they're like, you know what? This just feels right. And then when they listen to the fans being like, oh yeah, it means this, it means that, and they're like, I don't know, it just felt right. And all of the things you're saying,
it makes sense, but
it makes sense to me. But it's because it felt right that they all make sense.
Yeah.
So it's great listening to people that really know their game to realize that there some of them are just geniuses
Yeah.
accidentally. But yeah, there you go. So that's me in a nutshell. Roll on meeting with Kale today. That should be fun.
Oh yeah. Moving on to someone who's gonna have a hard time with it because they're putting on a jumper. OG Vaddy, what's up? Do you want to talk and put on your jumper?
No, this is why. You know what? Fuck it. Yeah, I don't even care. I don't even care. I can't hear anything, so I don't know what's going on. But hi, I'm Vandy. I'm putting on a sweater because I'm cold and my hair's wet. But I am here. You are seeing a different view because yesterday I've had a ton of energy for no reason and decided to change up my entire apartment for 6 hours. So now I'm tired, but I'm excited to get back to it. I wasn't here last week because I was running a thing, an event.
We raided into
back it. And
She can't hear
honestly, Tess doesn't have
true.
a ton going on other than potentially having a couple dates. So we'll see.
It's a game
But
on
honestly-
Twitch. We raided into it.
We did. You did. Yes.
It was so awesome.
you.
It was-
Good.
Oh yeah. Also, I need to check in with you two about stuff. But anyway.
Right, we're
I'll just
off.
message
We'll
you.
see you later.
See you later, guys.
Bye.
We're gonna ourselves.
But other than that, what am I doing? Other than that, I've been getting my dice stuff ready to go again. So all the stuff that you see on this side, this pile of mess, is a whole bunch of art stuff that I need to sort through, and the stuff in this shelf is also a bunch of stuff that I need to sort through and figure out what the fuck I'm doing with it, so that I can put things up on the wall. But anyway, expect some dice pictures and shit relatively soon.
With the pure whiteness behind you, it kind of looks like you're in the Matrix, and there's just no end to behind you.
Yes, well, that's how it is.
Oh, cool.
Actually, I have a green screen, but it's a little too sheer. So I was thinking of getting like a board or something, putting it on the back, and then mounting it behind me. But other than that, I mean, we'll see. This whole setup is different. Even the audio is kind of weird. So I was telling the cast earlier that I put a big fuzzy bathrobe up on my wall just to dampen the echo. So it works though. It works really well. Like it cuts it by a ton. So I feel pretty good about it.
I never echo, so it's fine. I sound like I'm in a train station or something.
Now
or a stadium.
Now boarding the train to Painesville. Population us.
And finally, me. Hello, everyone. I'm Sheepdog.
I thought you were going to be like, talking of chronic pain, Tashna.
Oh, that would have been a good segue.
That would have been a good one.
Yeah.
Missing out.
Missed opportunity.
I'll just go, hi, I'm Tashna, I have chronic pain. And recently I've been playing Valheim because apparently I also like mental pain. And I hate it, but I like it at the same time. It's difficult. I've been in a few tabletops recently. We were in the Game Hers. I was in with Tess Aquila on Wednesday.
Can I just say, like, if you haven't gone to see that specific episode on the Game Hers, I would. Like, I watched it and I absolutely thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a really good show. So.
.gm'd it. I can actually link it if you want. Like
That
just
was
to.
great.
Yeah.
So
Chuck it in there.
Sure.
So yeah,
It was so fun.
it's I don't know what the actual episode was called, but it was really fun and a lot of interesting characters and things.
It was called episode
It was
3.
called Day 3.
And we also just had day 3 for me of The Last Ditch. So I've got one more week guesting on there. So new characters this coming Sunday. Hopefully you guys will enjoy it. And then I only have Sunkissed for a while. So hit me up. No kidding. I'm not kidding.
You looking for more shows? You know what the weirdest thing about last episode was? Tash massively enjoyed 40k.
It was bizarre.
Just
Afterwards,
yeah.
I was like, I don't know if something's wrong with me.
I don't know why I love that so much, but I now enjoy 40k apparently. Yeah.
Who knew?
So yes, and I am Sheepdog, and I run the Wandering Inn. And there's not too much to talk about aside from the standard chillin' stuff where it's like subscribe. Don't go check out the Patreon yet. I need to do stuff to it, naughty stuff in the corner, and you're not allowed to look until I'm done. Go check. Wait, why did you raise eyebrows for dirty stuff in the corner and then get all weirded by you're not allowed to look?
Because I want to look.
Oh, okay.
Okay, moving on.
Sorry, my brain just like skipped over that and was like, yeah, okay.
Yep.
So, yes, don't go look at the Patreon file. I've got to set things up for that and get things rolling on that. Hopefully in the future we'll be having 2 more shows. Actually, this Wednesday is the start of one show I'm wanting to be running, which I think I'm going to call Bar Brawl, which has additional stuff coming for it, but is going to start with Josh, also known as Gaming FTL. He is going to jump on for essentially what is like a mix of podcast and exit interview, where we'll talk about what he liked about the show, what he disliked about the show, obviously Sunkissed, and then just talk about other experiences he's had being in TTRPGs, the things he's planning on doing and wanting to do, and, you know, stuff he's currently doing, so we can send you off to check out all those things. And then we finish with a tier list, where I take his most favourite thing in the world ever and force him to rank it one by one in order of preference, which I've done myself and is absolute torture because it's something you love and you can't tier list it. This time, I'm not sure Josh knows, but this time it's going to be Vampire the Masquerade clans.
Oh, I thought it was going to be Cillian Murphy characters.
He doesn't know any of them. He thinks they're all someone else.
I know this actor. Where's he from?
The basic idea behind the tier listing, because all of these fine people will be hopefully doing it at some point, probably after Sunkissed is finished. But the tier listing is basically you have a tier list, there are 1 to 15, and you hold up like the Tremere, and you say, you know, we'll put that at number 1. And then you take the Toreador and you go, do you like them better or worse than the Tremere? And you have to put them ahead or behind of the Tremere. And then you take the Ventru and go, do you like them better or worse than the Tremere? Better? Okay. Do you like them better or worse than the, you know, so you actually have to individually rank them above each other or below each other. You can get some interesting results. In terms of how many episodes of Sunkissed there are, we're not sure. I'm not sure. We want to finish out all of the characters, so the show will probably go on for a bit longer, but characters will slowly start to drop out depending on how their character stories go and when we find an appropriate ending for their characters. So much like Josh and Cassius, eventually, you know, like, Bandy will be like, okay, this is good for Tess, we're done here. And then we'll do an exit interview, and I'll make Vandy rank... What's something you love?
Other than video games?
I can make you rank video games.
I'd rank video games.
Sweet, okay, done.
Yeah. We can rank them based on, like, certain criteria, too. Like,
yeah,
favorites, or, I mean... No! You know what? I can rank food, because I'm always eating on stream. Natalie Dormer characters. Christ. I haven't watched enough movies for that.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to say it.
Yeah.
Call yourself out, that's fine.
Yeah, I saw it and I was like, that's too good not to say. I would do video games. Video games are I give a lot of thought to it, so.
I was gonna say romantic interests for Tess, but there are a few too many to sort into a list, I think.
Are you calling my character a hoe?
Yes.
Because that's accurate,
Yeah.
so, you know, I mean, yeah. Yeah.
I would watch that tier list. I'm curious.
All 3 of them.
I would listen. I would struggle probably a lot with the romantic interest one.
Yeah.
Anyway, now I'm thinking about video games and how I'd rank them.
We did a while back. Me and Tash and Peachy did a video game tier ranking, and we found that a lot of games weren't Tetris.
Who knew?
Which
Mario's
is
Tetris, though.
which is an inside joke that not many people will get, except for those who watch the stream.
Is that like the super salad theory, but it's Tetris or not Tetris?
Yeah, a little. So, I posited that you can't get a more perfect game than Tetris.
Perfect game?
Yeah.
It does what it wants to do.
It does what it wants
intended
to do perfectly. It does what it intended to do, massively popular. Everyone enjoys it, and pretty much anyone can sit down and play it happily.
I still occasionally play Tetris. I love it.
So what?
It is a timeless. You know what?
Yeah.
Like perfection in a video game is very difficult to achieve.
Well, this
and not always like wanted.
Yeah.
So
this
Tetris as a perfect game, I think that actually makes sense.
I mean,
Also, Pac-Man.
it's
Tetris and
what
Pac-Man.
it's what Peachy said.
The replayability
is like Peachy said basically. There's no game that can be perfect, blah blah blah. And me and Tash were like, well, fuck you. We're putting Tetris as the top tier, and it's gonna be
Better than
called
everything.
Tetris.
Yeah.
And like every game that was really, really good, we'd make Peachy decide if it was Tetris or not. And some things, I think we put like Super Mario
Super
2,
Mario Bros. 3.
3.
Ooh.
We put that in Tetris, and Peachy was super upset about that.
So mad.
He's like,
Oh my
hey,
gosh.
it's not Tetris because it's not called Tetris, so it can't be in the Tetris rank. And we're like, but it is kind of
But
Tetris.
it's Tetris.
Yeah.
What about Tetris 99?
No,
That wasn't in the list.
that wasn't an option.
Because that's technically Tetris, but it's online Tetris.
Oh,
Save it for your tier ranking.
Anyway, yeah, I will spend way too much time talking about this. So
this is a good moment to say that as we go forward with Sunkissed, the format will be slightly more fluid, just in the sense that we won't always go from 7 on the dot to 10 on the dot, like 3 hours solid. Sometimes we'll end a little early. It just depends how the story is going, because we have a bit less kind of... We're in the aftermath almost, aren't we? Like, we've done all the big events for Sunkissed, and the city has basically normalized to a point where I think everyone's reasonably happy with it. And it's mostly now going to be like playing out individual character stories and interactions with the characters they need to interact with. So if we end early sometimes, it's it may happen, because I'll like it happened last week where I was just like, okay, I think we could end here after Nahari and Chrys heading off to see, I want to say Nathan every time. It's not Nathan, it's Sheldon.
Sheldon.
That's later.
Yeah, that's later.
Uh-huh.
excuse me.
Did Tash not tell you that Chrys got a date with Nathan?
No.
I said you'd be mad at me, so...
You said you went to see Leah. Okay, I'm gonna be
That's a
angry
joke.
gamer right now.
Okay.
He's gonna be good.
So, last week, we had quite a lot of good roleplay, but I wouldn't say a whole load of big events happened or anything. The Nahari and Chrys had a bit of a chat, just about things and stuff. Nothing too important. Tash sent a message off to someone, doesn't really matter who. 2 messages off to someone. One was to Sheldon, and one was to someone else who doesn't matter. It's fine, let's not talk about it. I don't want to get Vandy more angry. And then went to Alex's dinner party where they had a lovely dinner that made everyone in the cast hungry. I still want to eat that friggin' quail meal that I put up there.
Creme brulee and honey, was it?
Oh yeah, creme brulee and honey.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I think it was roasted creme brulee and honey or something like that.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I don't have the recipes with me anymore. But, and additionally, Alec talked with some of the movers and shakers, the names of which elude me, but if needed, I can pull up the list. They're around here somewhere. And then Nahari and Chrys turned up. They chatted for a while. Kind of just, I think, was it mostly just touching base on, the setup of everything, and maybe Chrys might do the rounds.
It was like
with Alec.
It was suggested that she could go around, but
Yeah, whether it happens or not.
Whether it happens or not.
Yeah.
Because of the emo moment.
Yeah, there was a moment where I don't think Alec was thinking. Well, Alec didn't know, in his defense. Wasn't really thinking, and basically called them like deadly beauties or something like that. And Chrys was like, "I just murdered some people, and I feel sad about it."
Yeah.
Flashback.
But he's learned what a taboo subject is now with Chrys. So, and he did apologize.
It's all good.
Fairly stiffly and formally, but yes.
Yeah, but he did also offer to take her along as a nurse, should the opportunity arise, to heal the community rather than tear limbs off.
Yes.
I didn't say that latter part.
No.
Hold on.
Kale is due to turn up for the technically not for the dinner party because the dinner party's over, but just to pop in and say hello as two faction leading neighbors, members of the council. And I believe you found out about like a minor thing where some people are getting mugged and there's kind of ruffians wandering about in the area maybe. So there's that as well. So let us get back into it with Nahari and Chrys, I believe, walking off away from Alex's off towards the office.
So I think that went well.
Yeah, pretty okay. We learned some things, sort of.
I mean, what do you think you're gonna do about your? You gonna keep just wearing it all the time? Are you gonna hide it from Sheldon?
I don't know. I don't know what to do. I don't know what it is. And I need help, and I don't know how. I don't know. I don't know what I should do. Maybe I should hide it, but wear it and see what happens. I mean, I think I should wear it because Temps meant it to help. But it might be something that Sheldon wants. If he sees it or gets angry with me for having, I should probably hide it, right?
Well, maybe he'll think you're a La Sombra if you're wearing it, because maybe that would be good, but maybe it would be bad.
How could I be a La Sombra that doesn't know anything about?
It's pretty easy to not know things. Actually,
You think I could just tell him I'm a La Sombra and
I mean, you could just tell him that you don't know who sired you, because you don't, and that you think you need to learn control, but then also just don't mention the other things or like the other powers, because they might get suspicious. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could, if I ever have to show him the other powers, I could just tell him that I, a La Sombra, ate a blessed person, right?
Yeah.
Because La Sombra's kind of into Diablo.
Why did we not think of this?
Right?
Great. I mean, so then you don't have to hide it now.
Please roll me intelligence and occult.
Which one of us? Both?
Sure, like you're both having the conversation. Little sidebar for Tess. You're just getting off working with Gimlet at the club, so if you're, depending on what you're wanting to do, you can, kind of go check in with people, see if anyone's about, or text them or whatever. So just a heads up.
I'll probably text people and just say like, "Hey, I'm going back to the coterie, playing video games until you guys get back."
Okay.
What are we doing tonight?
I got a crit.
You got 4,
Nice.
which well, to begin with, the clan that the Blessed are a part of are the Ministry, also known as followers of Set previously. The La Sombra themselves aren't necessarily super diablerie. It's more like the Sabbat who can get into that type of thing sometimes. In general, it's like diablerie is kind of frowned upon mostly. I think part of it is probably it's often like a play for power. You kind of like take a couple of steps up the power ladder for free almost, although there are risks, which I don't think that Nahori knows about either.
I'm totally gonna metagame because Senor Matt said it. If that's okay. So comment in chat. You can taste someone's vitae and get a little bit of their powers. Is that a thing?
I believe it is a thing.
Could I know that? And because I have an idea.
With that occult roll, you could not.
Can I reroll?
You can reroll 0.
Oh, because
the hunger dice can't be rerolled. So it's.
So what do I do?
You
just
can't.
Oh,
you can't.
I can't.
Yeah,
okay.
no.
I'm sorry. Never mind.
It's okay. Essentially, yeah, it's kind of it'd be something that Nahori would have to actively start looking into and asking around about. And if you start asking around, then people are going to be like, why do you want to know about diablerie? Kindred are kind of untrusting and suspicious.
Yeah. Well, Chrys is going to talk about the danger.
Yeah. So the danger of diablerie then.
Well, obviously I got a 4, but I was going to talk about like the social danger of it rather than the
the other stuff.
rules of danger of it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I want to get him to want to help me.
Yeah,
or at least to not want to kill me.
I think maybe don't tell him you've eaten another kindred because people really hate that. It's like you are killing another kindred forever, and also taking their power. So it's not usually like, oh, I just kill them and eat them. It's I'm gonna take over what they have, I guess. And so it's very much like, don't do that and don't tell people if you have, because
I just wonder if can they tell that I'm not a La Sombra if I say I'm a La Sombra?
well, you don't have to commit to anything. He can assume and just be careful about stuff you use around him.
So off the occult crits, I'll give you, Chrys. Basically, in terms of just tasting someone another kindred's vitae, in general, that's either gonna be blood bonding, which is either uncool or frowned upon, or depending on the situation, or you attack another kindred and take it forcefully, or it's very rare that it could be favors, maybe someone a La Sombra owes you a favor.
It's not often a good thing, and I think with Sheldon being, I don't know, it's still an unknown factor in a
Yeah.
lot of ways. So we're like, we're just gonna. He doesn't need to know.
The
Much.
other thing is like, it's fairly it's not something you generally talk about often. It's not something that, you know, you don't like walk into a room with a bunch of Kindred and go, I'm a La Sombra. Or, you know, and you don't often use your disciplines and your powers unless it's for like very strong. So the likelihood is, if you went in and you were like, hello, I'm a La Sombra who doesn't know their sire and was left alone, and I know nothing, and I haven't been a Kindred that long, and etc, 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 it's very, very likely that it's possible that he probably won't be like, okay, let's see you throw shadow tentacles around or anything like that.
Yeah, it's not gonna like ask for proof, really. It's just
Yeah.
so. Yeah, that was
Good.
kind of the. So if we just, I mean, you can say you're a Sombra if he asks, I guess, but just you could just say you don't know what these are, and that I obviously told you that he did the mummification, and it's creepy and weird, and that you thought it might be good to talk to him.
Yeah, maybe I could tell him that it happened by accident, because it did, right?
Well, I hope so.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'm gonna hide this though.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was gonna say, additionally, if you have that up there, then it could be a problem.
Yeah. Okay, so we're not saying you're the Sombra unless he specifically asks. And you obviously you don't need sight, so you don't need to. All
Maybe-
these things are true, so we're not lying.
Yeah, maybe Tess has like a leather cuff that's fancy that could cover the actual bracelet that I could borrow. We'll have to ask her.
Well, we can pop in home on the.
As a sidebar, you have received a message from Tess that's like, "Hey, just finished work. What's up? What are you doing? Where's the happy haps?
Where
I'm
is
going to
everyone?"
I'm going back to eat and play games at the salon."
Playing Apex. Come fucking drop with me.
Oh yeah, bro.
1v1 me, beep.
Where are we
Um,
dropping? I'm literally eating Doritos and Mountain Dew right now.
Oh,
I'm not
wow.
even kidding.
Yeah,
I'm
we
gonna
can
have this,
pop
like-
in and when she's home, so she'll know where it is if she has one.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I'm
You-
gonna head to the salon. then.
Okay.
Yeah.
You unlock it, which it is locked. Because, you know, it's always locked. It's just sometimes some people get
People
in.
just let themselves in. So
And you go down into the basement, and Tess is there.
What up?
hi.
Hey.
How was your whatever you did? What did you do? Where'd you guys go?
We
We
had
went to that dinner party thing at Alex.
Oh, fun. How'd that go?
informative.
Yeah, kind of. He's an interesting character. Those look
Mhm.
tasty. You enjoying those?
Yeah, man. Listen, everybody talks about how Doritos and Mountain Dew are like for people like gamers who are stuck in their mom's basement and stuff. But the joke is, I'm stuck in my own basement.
Who owns this building?
Also, this is really good. Like, I don't know why anyone
Pasta.
makes fun of this.
It looks good. I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
Smell it?
yeah. And I like walk over and just kind of take a whiff. Hey, do you maybe have like a leather cuff that could cover this? My brother left it for me, remember, at the bank. I want to leave it on because he said it might help, but I don't really want people to know I have it because Alex said that it might be important. I don't know.
Does it look expensive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
gold and antique looking and all has like some funky symbols on it.
Has like I mean, it's got like the clan symbol, and we don't really want Sheldon to see it in case he gets.
Oh, I see. Okay, well, despite the fact that it's got the clan symbol, it also looks hella expensive. So somebody's probably gonna want to like chop your arm off for that. But I have some long sleeve dresses that might work that are kind of like a little more flowy. I might have a leather cuff from my like more metal-y kind of phase. Let me see what I got.
that'll work. Thanks.
I'll go into my room and see if I have anything to help cover it up.
Yeah, definitely. Tess has a lot of clothes and a lot of jewelries and peripherals.
Accessories.
We got some peripherals.
Yeah.
But you don't want to use those outside. I'll also have like
maybe like one of those
cloth.
like leather wrist straps.
Like that,
Yeah.
but maybe a little bit longer.
Yeah. Well, I'll also have, you know, like those the little like neckties or whatever that people sometimes have around their necks. Like I'll see if you can, like, maybe you can like wear one around your wrist or something, so it's like a little extra like flair or something. I don't know, but I'll give you some options.
Thanks.
Yeah. You can't just take that off, the cuff
I
thing?
could, but I don't know. I feel like I should keep it since he said it might help. And even though he took my money, still trust him. He wouldn't have said it would help unless it actually would help. I don't think.
He did take the money.
Yeah.
That's the same one. Was that the one that we found at the thing? Was that in the box? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, I don't know. So I don't know if he took the money. I'm guessing he took the money because the Banu Hakim told him to. And he was just doing his duty. But it's also possible it cost him something to get this to me. So I don't know.
Well, in the meantime, safest place probably to have it is on you. So long as you have it covered up, you should be fine.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. I think I'll take this leather cuff and just cover it up. Thanks.
Yeah, of course. You can come in and shop around if ever you want to like change up the look. So
Thanks.
except for the poofy dress, that one belongs to Chrys. You can't take that one.
No problem.
I have.
Chrys,
I
I've never
have
seen
like,
you in it.
You can take that one.
I have pictures.
Really? Show me later.
Do you want my
Well, anyway.
help with Sheldon, or
I
no,
do,
not
I do.
Nahari? Because
Of course I do. I'm just curious.
we've got a meeting with Sheldon so she can not kill people she eats.
Yeah, because that leads to exposure and is bad in general.
Yeah. I can always call Gimlet if we need a backup vacuumer. Sorry, that's a bad joke. It's probably a little too soon.
I just
But-
want control, you know. Leaving bodies around when I just want a snack is very much out of control, you know.
Yeah, not the best thing. Not the best thing at all. Well, I mean, I have nothing better to do tonight, so I can come with or whatever.
Sure.
I can drive us.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's not far to walk, really. We've got to pop in the lawyer's office, see if there's any messages, and then head over.
Yeah. Sounds like a plan.
Fine.
Plus, you don't have enough seats in the car for all of us. I'm not
I
sitting
figured
in the
she'd like
boot.
sit on your lap or something.
I don't think we should get pulled over for that when we could just walk.
Okay, to be able to get pulled over, they'd have to catch me first. That's the funny thing. I can definitely outrun any of the cops in this town. I was sleepy.
You could keep eating the Doritos on the way there for walking, though. You can't really eat those in your car while you're driving.
It'd get on the seats.
Yeah, that car is way too pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Yeah,
a-
all right. Okay, I'm convinced. Let's go. I'm ready to go.
All right.
I probably would have been sitting and eating and like in my work clothes, just like
I mean, you run a club. Your work clothes are basically a bomb-ass dress.
Yep.
So, you say work clothes, it implies, like, you know, overalls and...
No, my work clothes. You know, it's just the stuff I go to work in.
the same clothes you use to go partying in.
Yeah. It's nice, you know. It's nice when your work and your hobbies end up aligning, isn't it, friends?
Probably just give her a little update of like how we're gonna do it in terms of not telling. We'll only say she's La Sombre if he specifically asks, and I know who the Sire is, and she doesn't know anything, and
What exactly is the cover story here? She's a what now?
So I don't know. I mean, part of it's true, right? I didn't even know. I didn't really think about the whole Sire thing until you guys talked about yours, and so I don't know who my Sire is. I don't know what
You
these
don't know who
powers
your
are all
Sire
about.
is?
yeah, we should really look into that.
Consider it a blessing, honestly. You don't want to fucking know your Sire.
I think sometimes knowing things about your Sire is you don't have to know them. You could just know the reasons and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it would be nice to know, but they have to be from the blessed, so they can't be altogether friendly. I don't know if I want to know them. I feel like while I was working for the blessed, they would have let me know if they cared for me to know.
Or they could have had a reason to keep it from you. Because, I mean, listen, there's a lot of people, especially people I know, who do not like their sires and will actively try to get them killed.
Yeah. Yeah, but yours was kind of insane, wasn't he?
Yeah, a lot of vampires are.
Fair
Spoiler
point.
alert.
Hey, this is the thing where she doesn't know things.
Yeah.
Where she doesn't know things. Great. I mean, it's working out, I think. For with Sheldon.
So wait, is Sheldon a La Sombra?
He is. He did the
Ah.
weird. Chris saw him do that like mummification thing that I did by accident. So,
Yeah. But he didn't do it by accident.
Yeah. So he's got to know what he's doing.
The Dusty Bite.
It wasn't bite, it was tentacles and
I didn't see any tentacles when Nahara used it.
Yeah. I mean, I literally just nipped a little bit, took a snack, and then wandered off. Like it was just normal, you know? Like we do that all the time at clubs and outside and stuff. And just eat and go
well,
off,
it
and
looked
it's
the
not a
same.
problem.
Maybe he'll know why it was different.
Yeah, like something is clearly changed, and I don't know what it is. And I don't want to kill by accident. You know, it's just very
Messy, unfortunate, kind of gross.
yeah. I
Leaves a stain on your conscience a little.
it could absolutely expose us to people we don't want. So yeah, and also bad. So yeah.
Okay, well, let's go do the thing then.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, you head off to the office. There is a reply from,
Sheldon,
thank you. There is a reply from Sheldon that invites you to come visit him. He gives the address. It's up in Hunter's Walk. Little domicile, house to himself essentially, and says please feel free to drop by anytime.
we should keep this because it says anytime. So
Yeah, that's pretty great.
I'm sure that will work.
Yeah, you guys don't go over to other people's places very often, do you?
well, this is going to be the second time today.
I'm proud of you. By the way, I'm still mad at you.
Why?
You'll figure it out. I'll just walk out.
Mm.
I guess let's go, yeah?
Yeah. Fine.
Okay. You head over to Hunter's Walk, just taking a stroll through the city. Again, like, those of you who've been over the river, which I think was Tess and Nahari, over the side of the river, it's more chill. Like, the atmosphere is just more calm, in general. People walking are a bit less hurried, a bit less, you know, etc. And there's a few more people out. Like, out on the other side of the river, there's less people out and about in the evening at nighttime. Over here, people, you know, there's groups of younger youths, like, laughing and drinking and wandering down the streets, etc.
Ah, yes, the Utes.
Ah, the Utes. And you head to Sheldon. I keep going to Nathan. I'm gonna apologize now because I'm gonna do it again. You head to Nathan's, to Sheldon's. I literally just did it. How? You head to Sheldon's place.
Mm-hmm.
There is an answer from a. I'm assuming you just want to ring the doorbell, knock on the door, etc. It's a fairly standard looking English house, you know, that you see in the city wherever. It's answered by a kind of probably mid-20s looking guy, fairly nondescript, dark hair, brown eyes, you know, kind of like 5'10"-ish. Nothing special about him. And he kind of opens the door and says, "Oh, are you coming to see Mr. Langdon?"
Yeah. He's invited us.
Of course. Please come in. He's just in the reading room currently. It's down the hall on your right. Can't miss it. And then he
Thanks.
wanders off.
Guess we'll wander towards the room he indicated.
Okay. It's kind of like there's stairs going up from the there's a little hallway, reasonably large, and the stairs go up and there's like 2 hallways on either side with a few like rooms right next to it, and then down the right side there is another room like on the end, almost in complete darkness, but the hallway itself is lit.
Did he indicate which? I'm assuming it's the dark one.
Yeah,
but,
down towards the one. It's...
Probably that room.
I want to use some lighting in here. Like, God.
I think
It's a little bit gloomy.
Fuck. I could really use I don't know, a freshening up of this place.
Probably likes all the shadows. That'd be my guess.
Does this work for you? Is this like
Kinda,
is this
yeah.
kind of your vibe? Okay. All right. Well.
All
All right.
Everyone, please roll me wits awareness. This is gonna need a fairly high success chance, but
Awareness.
so 3 from Chrys, 2 from Nahari, 2 from Tess. If anyone wants to re-roll, you can all re-roll 1, but it's really down to you
Yeah,
whether
why
you
not?
want or not.
Ooh.
10, nice.
Yeah. I'll reroll.
And I got a 1.
And a 1. Okay. There you go.
Nope.
Yeah.
Okay.
In here.
Chrys and Nahari, you do hear some slight murmuring. It's quite low. Like as you step in and the guy tells you where to go, like on the right down there. and walks away. As you're standing there, you hear like very low kind of, but you can't hear the words.
Like a weird whispering, kind of?
It's more like someone talking in another room, and you can't quite make
Yeah.
out what's being said.
Maybe he's got someone here. Well, I guess we'll just have to. Maybe he's got someone here already, but we've been
Yeah.
let in.
I'm too busy crunching on my chips, and the sound is very much in my ears.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well we'll just knock. So she'll knock
Yeah.
on the door before opening it.
Yeah,
like his little
That's
reading room
usually
door.
the polite thing to do. Yes, let's
Chris
let's
wouldn't
knock on the
normally do that.
the murmuring stops for a second, and at this point, like up by the door, even you could like start to hear it, Tess. And you hear the murmuring stops for a second, and you hear, "One moment, please. I will be right with you." And then just a bit more murmuring.
Huh.
Mm.
I wonder who's here.
Well, it's not our business. Is that the right answer?
Yes.
I look at Chris like, are you kidding me?
You
I'm
just told me to be
curious.
polite, and it's
Okay, there's a thing between being visibly polite, like social customs and whatever, and just being curious.
It's called being nosy.
Being curious, sheepy.
Well, I mean, if any of you had anything that could, like, help if you wanted to be nosy,
like a discipline or
like some discipline or something.
something that I know that Van
I'm going to
has.
use my heightened senses.
There you go. Forgot you had that, eh?
I did forget that I had. Well, because the last time I used it,
Yeah.
I blew out my eardrums.
You got, like, knocked over, deafened, yeah.
So I'm gonna use heightened senses to
Okay.
hear better.
You will be aware, of course, that if any very loud noises or anything of the like suddenly assails you, you may be deafened or anything. The last time it happened, it was like some huge, like, blaring noise, like guttural weirdness. You still don't know what that was. Okay, you hear, don't think I can help you with that. It's not really something I'm willing to put myself out for. No, I'll tell you what, I will think on it, and I will get back to you on that as soon as I can, but please do visit me again at my convenience, and we will discuss this further. Now, if you will please excuse me and leave me alone, I have some guests to attend to. Thank you. You don't hear the other side of the conversation.
I'm just gonna shut it off.
And he gets up and opens the door, and you see Sheldon Langdon standing there, quite tall, a little bit imposing. Chris, you may be a little bit worried about him in general, just because of previous experiences. The room behind him has a couple of candles on the table. It's pretty much all the lighting. It's very, very dim. The candles do not extend very far at all. And he says, representatives from Morier, and of course my fellow council member, Miss Aquila.
Pleasure to see you again.
Pleasure to have you. Please, do come in. Sorry about the low lighting.
No, it's cozy.
Quite
And-
nice.
He goes and sits down and folds his hands over his waist and looks at you all and says, "Please, have a seat and tell me what the four of you are here today to talk about."
Wait, 4 of us?
heightened senses again for my eyeballs?
Sure, it's kind of dark, so that doesn't help too much.
Would that like help see things?
In the dark, if you can't see it, you can't see it better, essentially.
Oh, so it's more like a zoom and less of a like see in the dark thing. Okay.
Incidentally, it's just him in there.
Yeah. 4 of us?
Sorry?
Well, there's myself and Tess and Chrys.
And
And his chair creaks as he leans a little closer and goes, "Oh, I do apologize. My mistake. The 3 of you. The lighting, as I said, is not great in here."
Easy mistake to make?
Not really.
No.
Wait,
What?
who? Do you see someone else?
I'm afraid I do not. Were you expecting someone else?
No, that's why it was so confusing.
I feel like I need to do a Sire thing at one point, but anyway. Easy mistake to make, as Chrys said. But as much as I would love to talk about any kind of council business, I think it actually is better that these 2 take the reins on the conversation.
Of course. Please, do be seated, and tell me what you are here to talk about.
Yeah, Chris will go and sit down on one of the.
Yeah. Like a guest couch or something, love seat. I don't know.
There's kind of armchairs essentially. High backed with those side bits that come out to the side of your head. It's nice chairs.
Traditional chairs.
Yeah.
Are there bookshelves and stuff in the room?
Oh, for the most part, no. It's the room, the walls are fairly bare. There is a fireplace, that kind of juts out a little bit. But mostly it's desks and paper, and there's a few books on the table, but there are no bookshelves or anything.
Is the fireplace on?
The fireplace is not currently on, no.
Just the 2 candles, though. Okay.
Is there firewood that I could theoretically light a fire?
Yeah.
Okay.
The wood there is partially charred, so it's the fire was on and then was blown out or snuffed out, so the wood isn't completely burned or anything.
I'll probably just walk around a little bit, just kind of while they're talking. I'll just kind of peruse the room.
Well, this could be a personal question, I guess, Sheldon. So, I apologize preemptively, and if you don't want to help, I understand. When we last met, the mummification thing. I've seen that. It happened somewhere else, and Nahari, do you want to help me here?
Yeah. So, Chrys told me that you did this, and it's kind of similar to something that happened after I snacked on a human, but I definitely didn't intend for anything like that, and it's never happened before, and so I was wondering if we could ask you about it.
Of course. Due to the current goodwill and agreement we have as a council of Weirgate, which you are members under, I am happy to try and help. However, of course, there may be times when I am unable to answer because of other loyalties or agreements and favors and whatnot. So I will do my best.
That's understandable.
Completely.
So, how does that work, the mummification?
It is an interesting question. All of us Kindred have different abilities and power granted to us by the blood. Some can erase their existence, some can manipulate or even, if they wish, control minds. The abilities of my clan, of the La Sombra, are a little darker. They are a little closer to the place that people go when they die.
So, do you have control of when someone is mummified and when someone isn't?
With time and with proper application of my abilities, I have been able to effectively control my shadow and my abilities as I wish. There have been times when it has been a little more dangerous than I would have liked, but that is all about learning and experience.
You talk about your shadow like it has a mind of its own.
Have you ever wielded a weapon before? I'm sorry, I do not believe I remember your name.
Nahari.
Nahari.
Well, sure. You know, knives, guns, the usual.
Have you ever felt that they almost had a will of their own?
Not really. I mean, I point the gun and it shoots where I point, and the same kind of goes with the pointy end of the knife. Usually, at least. But I
Well,
definitely don't feel like I have control right now.
it is said by some masters of their trades, be it swords or knives or anything, that the more they are wielded, the more a weapon feels like it has its own personality and its own will. I suspect it is a bit like that. I have never had a complete loss of control. However, I have felt at times when manipulating and using my shadow that there was some other will effective that, while not possibly counter, had different designs than myself.
So how did you make it do what you wanted?
I always had a measure of control. It was merely learning the abilities given to us by our blood, by the clan of La Sombra. They are slowly learnt and sometimes difficult to master, as with all techniques and abilities. If your sire has not taught you this, then
Well, I don't know who my sire is. They sired me and left me. So I've kind of been on my own, trying to figure it out. That's part of the problem.
if I may if I may be so bold, considering that you have also been bold with me, I should ask, it seems very possible that your sire and your origins may have been birthed in a situation of the Sabbat. Very often, it is possible that Kindred in the Camarilla and in the Anarchs will sire and leave, but more often in the Sabbat.
I honestly
Well,
don't know.
My sire left me too, and you know I, Camarilla left with Winnie. So
Your sire, if he left you with, Mr. Winono, did not leave you alone and with no idea of what was going on. He left you with someone, at least, to teach you.
yep. And you know I feel like Nahari's done great, so far mostly.
Aside from accidental killings.
Well, it was
Yeah.
only the one that I
Indeed.
know of. And I don't want that to happen again. I mean, it risks exposure. I mean, I don't know where I came from, but it doesn't matter at this point. At this point, I'm with Memorie. I want to have control. I don't want exposure. I don't want to randomly kill people. That's why we came to you. Could you teach me?
Just before we go any further, I want to make sure that Mr. Langdon knows that this should be kept confidential. This entire conversation.
That was already my intention. However, I will make note of your concern.
Just taking precautions.
Sidebar. I think the only person here with all specs is Tess.
Yeah.
Do you have Tess? Do you have heightened senses and? But the question is like, I'm pretty sure there's unseen something. See the unseen, sense the unseen.
Sense the
It's not
unseen.
true.
I only have 1 point in Auspex, unfortunately.
Okay.
Although I wonder if I have enough to buy. Oh no, I only have 2 experience. Never mind.
buy some real quick.
It's like, let me just buy something real quick. No,
I mean, if you have the XP and you can do it, you're welcome to.
No, I don't think I do. Let me just see. Because
You
I
d-
only have 2 XP,
Yeah,
so
you did just.
I just bought a whole bunch of shit. I did want to ask him though too. I wanted to say, can you see other people's shadows?
I assume you are not talking about the regular shadows.
Yes, I'm speaking strictly on a fellow Lasombra's shadow, if you were to look for it.
He like closes his eyes for a second, and then when he opens his eyes, like his eyeballs are like pure black, and then slowly, like from his seat, the shadow that's been like created by the flickering candlelight just extends and like slowly creeps across the floor, and then small little tendrils of shadow just like start rising up from the floor, like almost like bubbling out, and then start like whipping back and forward, and like within about 30 seconds or so he's like surrounded by this like wall of whipping tentacle shadows.
Do we all see that?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'd just put a hand out, just say, just don't move, kind of thing.
And then closes his eyes again, shadows recede, and he opens his eyes. As you can see, the shadows are perfectly visible. It is one of the things that makes it something you should not reveal to a regular kine or human in normal circumstances, unless you are going to kill or turn or ghoul them. Although ghouls are, of course, their own interesting little breach themselves.
While very impressive, I'm more wondering if you could then sense another La Sombra. Simply, I don't know if their shadow has something, some kind of weight to it, you know? A way to perceive it.
There are, and his eyes like flicker at Nahari, there are sometimes certain signs that can be seen.
Such as?
In general, I would say not, but okay, so give me a second. Yes. Miss Nahari, if you are opening to trying something, I will see if I can teach you a thing or two.
That would be amazing.
I urge you not to be frightened, as panic can be bad in some circumstances. So, please, close your eyes.
Should we be here for this? And are you wanting anything in exchange for this?
Fair
No,
question.
it is rare that I meet someone with the same abilities as my own. It is nice to see someone who has control of their shadow, as do I. I thought I was one of the only people in the city, especially after the passing of one of those old guard people.
You're the first one I've met.
I believe I am the second. The first would have been the lady of the old guard.
That's right. Out of character, I forgot. I'm sorry.
There you go. It like the interesting thing is, even though they both can like tentacle whippy, the like freaky weird thing about Siamara was the eyes in the shadow that just like opened up. So it's very understandable to connect them completely differently in your head, because that, you know, like
Yeah. She was like a whole different thing.
that was uncool.
Yeah. I think it should be all right if you guys stay. I would never hurt you.
So I'm just ready to get the vacuum in a worst case, so don't worry. We're here to help.
Thanks, Tess.
So
All right.
I'm gonna keep making that joke until it makes you not uncomfortable anymore, so.
Miss Nahari, if you would please. Now, imagine drawing your shadow over your eyes. Could you please roll me? Give me 1 second here, because I'm not sure what it is. I think it will be Wits and Oblivion.
Oh, did I just
You don't need to rouse.
didn't mean to rouse,
Okay.
Oh,
but it came up as a rouse. Okay, so forgive my extreme noobness.
So if you go in your what we'll do,
Is it shadow cloak or shadow cast?
neither.
Okay. So how do I roll this?
So if you go, what I'll do
Oh.
is I'll do wits, discipline. There you go. So if you look at Oblivion, you can just hit wits, discipline. You can hit the dice, and it will roll it for you.
There we go.
Okay. Would you like to re-roll? You have 2 you can re-roll.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. What I'm gonna say in this instance is you can feel the ability and you can feel the power there. You are going to have to get hungrier to initialize it. So you'll have to take a no rouse check. It's just gonna cost you some blood.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay. So mark your hunger. 1 more hunger. You feel the sensation of creeping across your eyes, under your eyelids, over your eyeballs, and you hear almost from a slightly further distance Sheldon say, and now stretch it and thin it out very, very slightly. And again, you feel that manipulation happening. Okay, now please open your eyes. And if both of you are looking at Nahari, her eyes are completely black. There's no sign of what would normally be there. It's just almost like there's nothing in her eye sockets anymore. It's just darkness. Nahari, I assume you're looking at Sheldon.
Yeah.
Behind him, you see 4 figures. They are ethereal, but not ethereal. You can't see through them or anything like that, but there's an essence to them that essentially seems there's an essence to them that essentially seems translucent. They could just flitter away. One of them has this huge collar chain on his neck that the chain kind of dangles down, chains on his wrists, chains on his leg. Another one seems not exactly a pirate, but he has kind of old, much more older clothes on, and he's got that tricorn hat and everything like that. Another one is a fairly old withered lady who has a one of those big puffy dresses and is slightly bent over. And the other one is a fairly small boy of probably 12 or 13, quite short and just fairly regular looking. There's no kind of special age on his and as you open his eyes, he says, "Please remember not to panic at anything you might see."
I see others or shadows of others.
This is one thing we are able to do. We are able to see into, to break past the veil and see spirits or beings who might still be hanging around. I myself was conversing with them earlier.
Oh. Wow. Could you see anyone this way, or are they specific people from your life or death or undeath?
The world of the spirits and the dead is a strange and complicated one. Very often you will not get answers but more questions, and very often you risk wrath of the dead if you interfere with them or even notice them. You should be safe. However, I would advise against prolonged staring or interaction with such beings.
I just look down.
Yeah. If you like, you can mark off Oblivion Sight as a new discipline you can use.
Cool.
Essentially, this this is something that you can activate to see anything using kind of like supernatural means to be hidden, or ghosts and spirits and whatnot.
I want to try it. I want to try doing the thing. Even though it probably won't work, but like if
Doing
it's
the
a
thing?
way to see the veil or whatever, because Sire and all that other shit and seeing the dead, I'm just like, oh fuck, this is like maybe relevant. Ooh.
What is it you want to do?
I want to try doing what Nahari did. It probably won't work, but like because he was just saying all this stuff about being able to like communicate with the dead / you know, the veil and everything, I'm like, oh shit, like that's kind of in my wheelhouse, but I'm not a Lasombra and I don't think I can do that. So
Are you trying to like reach out into that? Like, obviously you're not trying to control your shadow.
No. Instead, like when I guess he's like walking her through it, I'll just like close my eyes and like try to like sense the dead or whatever if they're near.
Okay. Please roll me a resolve Siri.
That's a 3.
You have 2 you may reroll if you like.
I am going to reroll 2. That's a 4.
Oh, okay. Whereabouts are you? Because, like, Sheldon is sat, with his kind of back to his desk in a chair. In front of him is Chrys and, Nahari, and behind them is the door. So there's kind of room to the side where you could be wandering around. There's, like, the fire just behind them to the right, a little bit of open area. Like, my question is, when you stop and when you try to do this, are you kind of like standing facing Sheldon? Are you looking at Nahari, seeing what she's doing? Like, what's going on here?
I'd probably be leaning against the fireplace
Okay.
and
Which means
looking kind of like,
kind of be looking towards Sheldon more.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, when you open your eyes, it's completely different. Aside from you can still see the same 4 people. You can see this kind of like the each of them have this like tail. They're a bit more translucent to you. They have kind of like a thin outline, all of them, and they kind of like, there's like a little thin tail that like leads off them and just away and kind of disappears into nothing.
How did you get 4?
One of the spirits like turns their head. Actually, all 4 of them turn their head and look at you.
I'd avert my eyes because he just said like don't stare too much.
Yeah.
Probably avert my eyes closer to like looking at Nahari.
Okay. You see Chrys, you see Nahari, and you see one other person. a like bedraggled dude with like this kind of like hood cowl, and like he's got like long dark hair that kind of like wetly drips out of the hood. Can't really see his face, and he's got the same like sheen and everything, just standing behind Nahari's chair.
Huh.
What?
Nahari, you don't hear anything.
And you have one.
Don't distract him.
I'm just almost like talking to myself at this point. Like,
And I will say that as Tess is talking to herself, you guys don't hear her talking.
Oh, either of us. Okay. Chris is just like, don't like it all the same, but quietly. Yeah.
I'll look over at Nahari's person and just say, "May I ask your name?"
Do we hear her say that?
One moment. The figure looks at you, and its head kind of like whips around to stare at you. You feel, you know that feeling when you like look. It depends on the person, I guess. But when you look like stare down at a huge drop or something, and your stomach like lurches.
Like vertigo.
Yeah, or like when you're on like a roller coaster and it goes down and you feel that like lurch. You get that kind of like feel as he looks at you, and you can see his eyes are completely black. Like there's no irises or anything like that. Again, everyone is all of the spirits seem to be fairly translucent. There's the sheen on all of the other four is kind of light white blue, just very very vague, almost like on the periphery of each of them. The guy, the man who's behind Nahari, it's a little darker. It's a little more even like grey almost, as opposed to like white blue.
Interesting.
And I just need to look something up here because I'm not 100% sure.
If he does look at me like that, I will also kind of like avert my eyes downward, just like almost out of respect or submissiveness.
Okay.
Submission.
In that case, he looks at you, and you look away, and he doesn't answer. But you can feel that he's still staring at you.
I don't want to make you uncomfortable. I simply wish to help my friend, who you are inherently linked with. I will attempt to look back up.
He's staring at you. Hasn't moved.
And we have no idea any of this is going on. Right?
Let's pause there for you, Tess, for a moment.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
See if you'd like to carry on, because this has been happening outside of your knowledge, while
Right. So I would look away from the spirits behind Sheldon and are these spirits your shadow, or is that a separate thing?
They are separate. They are their own. Essentially, they are the equivalent of humans, people, beings who have not moved on, or who have crossed the veil, or who have become lost. There are very many different reasons why a person who has died can become a spirit or a being who does not move past this world.
Can they do harm
Yes,
to you?
they may absolutely do. And part of the reason for my words of warning is because if you are not careful, they can be extremely harmful. Have you ever seen the movie The Exorcist?
Sort of. Bits and pieces of it. Why is that relevant?
It is just to paint a picture of what can happen if you are not
Oh.
careful.
Oh. How do you prevent that? Just by not offending them?
By being cautious, by being careful, and with control and discipline.
All right. Thank you. I'm not sure how to gain this control. That's the main issue, I think, that I have.
The worry that I have is that the nature of what you're describing is more extreme and more aggressive than a loss of control. It sounds like perhaps someone else is taking control from you.
How could that be? Who could that be?
I do not know.
How do I stop them?
That, I am afraid, I also do not know. Unfortunately, while I have been Kindred for a while, I was assigned to the Camarilla fairly early as a part of the deal to work between my clan and the La Sombra, between my clan and the Camarilla. I know what I know, but there is much that I do not know.
Thank you for your help. Is there anything else you can tell me that might help?
I'm not sure exactly what the problem might be. However, I will tell you, if you remain scared of your own shadow, then it is possible you will never be able to control it.
So you're saying I need to use it more?
This is not what I'm saying, and merely a possibility. It could be that every time you use it, you lose more and more control, and soon it will consume you. I cannot say.
Thank you. You've given me a lot to think about.
I wish I could be more helpful. However, unless I was to contact my sire and the members of my clan who I have effectively cut ties with, they could know more, but it is something I have no intention to do.
I'm not sure I want to know who sired me, since they abandoned me. So for now, I would say I will try to practice and see, but I would like to talk with you again in the future. If that's all right?
Of course. Please, let me know through message, and I will have, as long as my schedule allows it, I will be available. The only other piece of advice I can give you is this new technique I have taught you be careful where you look. Sometimes you see things you do not want to see.
I will. Be careful.
Very good.
Thank you very much for your help. I guess I'll turn to Chrys and Tess and say we should maybe head back.
You good? Yep.
For now, I guess.
Tess, you okay there?
Tess is standing there with her eyes closed.
Tess!
Tess?
Chris is gonna get up and like prod her almost. Tess,
Okay.
it's time to go.
Doesn't respond.
Sorry, Sheldon. Tess! And just like shaking her a little bit.
Tess, please roll me a resolve, Siri. You can
That's a
reroll
one.
3 if you want. I assume you know what will happen if you succeed, so it depends what you're wanting to do here.
I actually don't know,
Okay.
but I will re-roll them anyway because I may as well.
Alright.
That's okay. A 2.
2 successes. The what you're seeing, what you're experiencing, kind of like blurs and like blurs and sharpens for a second, and then you see nothing. But you can hear Chrys shouting at you. You have your eyes closed.
Okay, I'll open my eyes if I can.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm just really tired, honestly. Kind of fell asleep standing there for a second.
Well, it's
Don't mind me.
It's time to go.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sheldon. Good talk.
Have a pleasant night.
You
You
as
too.
well.
And I'm gonna start heading out. Just let yourself out.
I'll give him a nod and kind of like a smaller nod to the 4 behind
don't
him that
see
I probably
anyone
can't see,
behind
but
him,
I'll just do like a almost like a
Yeah.
I know you're there, so I'm just gonna pay respect kind of thing. I'm debating whether I should say something on my way out.
Do you want to leave it for a bit until until you've got a little ways away from the?
No, I'm debating whether I should say something to Sheldon.
Oh, okay.
Maybe like if I'm the last person out of the room, I'll just turn back to Sheldon and be like, "It was a pleasure meeting your 4 friends."
Indeed.
And
Although I will say, it does not always do to acknowledge the things you see, as they can be quite dangerous.
noted. And I'll walk out.
Okay. And you
I'm
head
not
out.
I'm not sure where we're heading after this, so I think we'll just probably
Head out the
Follow
house
me. I'm
and
following them.
start walking back to the office or to the salon.
yeah.
Uh,
En
I'm
route.
yeah. I'm thinking about trying to get a bite to eat.
Okay.
Pop by the club.
You can pop by the club and extract a little.
I'm like nervous to risk it.
Tell you what, have a little chat while you're walking towards the club because Sheepy needs to go pee.
So that was interesting.
It was terrifying. It went a lot better than I thought it was gonna go.
Yeah,
If
he
I'm honest.
was helpful. Although I'm so I don't know what this means. I feel like my shadow has more of a mind of its own than a normal Lasombra shadow.
Well, if it is,
Yes.
you're good there. What happened? You were like way phased out.
I just want to like check in. What did you see, Nahari, when you like?
The 4 spirits, I guess, standing behind him.
Did one of them have like a piratey kind of tricorn hat?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and there was an older lady in that kind of like
and like a kid.
dress. Yeah. What did you see?
Oh, them.
What did you do?
How did you see them?
So I don't know if I've told you this yet, but I'm kind of like a medium for the dead, kind of, thanks to a giant spirit that marks death that looks like a big dog.
What?
Yeah. Don't think I told you that before. So, surprise! I can see dead people and talk to them sometimes.
Do you see anything when you look at me?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
What?
Saw your dude. Super.
Wait, there's a spirit with me?
Yeah.
What does he look like?
Hooded, long hair. His eyes are void though. I mean, they're black, but he's attached to you. And he's definitely not as... He didn't seem as light and fluffy, I guess, as the ones that Sheldon had.
You guys are walking, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nahari and also Tess. Please roll me a strength brawl.
Ah,
What?
for fuck's sake.
Oh God.
That's what Sheldon meant.
Listen to the warnings.
I thought he meant like when I see... Oh,
Why
fuck.
you guys can't brawl at all?
You really can't. Okay, you both stop in your tracks as your legs are just entwined by shadow rising up from, like, the shadow cast by Nahari.
Sorry. Nope,
hell?
never mind. Not gonna say anything. No. Nope, sorry. Mm-mm.
Are you doing this, Nahari?
No.
And it keeps,
Don't acknowledge,
it keeps
don't
creeping
acknowledge.
up and it keeps going. The ones, Nahari, the ones on you, stay still, and just like hold you in place. The ones that are on Tess keep creeping up and keep going up the length of your body and are going like higher and higher.
Yeah.
Okay, so 2 questions. When she started to describe him, would that sound like the person that I diablerized?
Yes.
Okay.
I thought he meant it's best not to acknowledge them in the thing, like when I was
Yeah,
seeing
that's
them, like
what I
physically.
thought
I
too.
didn't mean. Oh fuck. Okay, so that's what he meant. Okay. Yeah.
I
Never
wasn't
mind.
expecting this.
Never mind. Never seen him before. Don't know what he looks like. Don't even know if it's a he, she, they.
Can you do anything? Like, do you...
I'm just
I
like
don't know.
at this
Can
point,
I-
kind of just fucking accepting it. Like I'm just like, fucking idiot.
I don't know what I would use if I would use one of the Oblivion powers or Protean or something, just to try to control it and get it off of Tess.
Yeah, you'd use your let's have a look here. We'll go with let me just double check because yeah, you'd use Wit's Oblivion to basically try, like, because you've controlled your shadow before. You just want to get it under control.
Yeah, so I'm already standing still, but I would close my eyes and just try to focus really a lot and try to pull the shadow back from Tess.
Yeah.
Or at least, like, stop it. Fuck.
Yeah. Is that a crit?
Wow. Nice.
I think that's a crit.
Yes, that is a crit. 3 for 5. You can reroll 1 dice if you would like to. Just because I mention it does not mean you have to, or that you are failing or succeeding currently.
I might just hold on to this.
Okay.
For now.
One second. Yeah, okay. What do you want the shadows to do? Just, like, recede and stop being weird and fucky?
Basically, yeah, just let us go.
Yeah, okay, so, like, you pause for a second, and you're like, no, 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 and then the shadow just kind of recedes and draws back into, and then just, like, dissipates into your own your actual normal shadow.
Maybe let's not talk about this anymore tonight.
That's clearly what Sheldon meant. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No. Do not be sorry. That one's on me. That one I will take responsibility for.
No, 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 no. Sorry, someone mentioned Cleveland as his...
However, if we do talk about this again, eventually, maybe one day,
Sorry, someone in chat said, Sheldon, don't acknowledge the ghosts. Tess. So about these ghosts.
About those ghosts. But there's no way for us to really talk about this stuff without,
I think I need more control first, but...
Well, that might help.
I'll just say that you helped, but let's talk about something else. And I just like take her hand and I squeeze her hand and like just try to give her a look that's like, thank you, but shut up.
So
yeah, I'm also just like looking slightly behind Nahari, kind of like,
Well, just a little aside for Nahari, because you will notice this. Something you hadn't noticed was like a weird heaviness almost on your being, has like lifted very slightly once you took control of your shadow. It's hard to describe. It's like you were hearing a ringing in your ears that you didn't notice until it stopped, essentially. Just like a sense of unease and discomfort, and like someone's always... I mean, you always have a little feeling like someone's right behind your shoulder, like, you know, feeling of being watched. But that was just like general Nahari paranoia. This was something a bit more obvious once you think about it, and you're like, wow, that's gone. Or at least, you know, it's not there at the moment.
Yeah. I actually feel a little better.
You do?
A little. Yeah.
Great.
you want to do it again?
Let's not do it again.
Maybe not right now. We should eat though, because I'm starting to get hungry. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, I could eat.
And it would be an opportunity for me to practice more control. Right?
Maybe just make sure you have control and don't play with it, but keep an eye out.
Yeah.
For it. I don't know how it works.
Just thinking about death tolls at my club.
We don't have to go there. We could.
I mean, so far it's only 2.
Only 2. Okay.
Well, there was Mummy Girl and then head
And
of
the decapitation. Yeah. No, I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, it's a lot. I don't know how many deaths I'm.
There's a hell of an opening in terms of death
Yeah.
toll.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, I'll just say, yeah, there hasn't been too many deaths at my at Sticks and Stones for the last little bit, so if it does happen, well, we'll just say we're due for one.
Or, don't.
And we'll walk over to the club and whatever. I'll just be like, and I'll just make sure that, we got the duster and everything, and maybe like a little like pan or something, like a
I
cremation
like
jar.
laugh nervously and just look at Chrys and look at Tess and say, "Thank you both."
Yeah, no problem. To either of you.
So, one thing I'll say, as we proceed through the story, for feeding, for now, I don't really want to, spend too much time on it. I think we're getting to the end, and I think with the club especially, it's kind of become a fairly easy affair for you lot to get some blood. What I will say is, you can go off and hunt on your own, in your own specified wishes. We'll do some rolls for those and, maybe narrate it a little bit. If you go to the club and feed, you can just, go back down to one hunger. Unless you decide to kill someone and drain them completely dry, there will obviously be problems with that. What I will say is, the more often and the more regular you feed at the club, the higher the imaginary sheepy danger ticker just goes up. So
It's not an imaginary ticker. Let's be real.
Okay, let's
that's a real
say
ticker.
the spectral behind my shoulder danger ticker.
Can I talk about it though?
If you talk about it, it will try and kill you.
No.
But yeah, that will go up as you feed at the club more and more, which could lead to an exciting event, which would not be that exciting, could be dangerous and scary. So just a heads up,
Cool.
It means you are still risking things if you feed, essentially.
Yeah,
I mean-
still.
Oh,
For-
Chris
for-
is. I'm not eating anyway, so.
Yeah, for now, a decent amount of time has passed since the last time you fed at the club. The club's been open for like a week or so. Sometime you weren't here, but like a week passed from before the beginning of last episode. So.
Okay. Well, I had a dot of hunger anyway, so
Oh.
I'll take that down.
I had 3, so I'm gonna keep that focus and control that I had
Yeah.
on the walk, and just try to nibble on a person and not do anything else.
Okay. Just while you're there, it's getting fairly early. So you actually probably don't have much more time before you have like an hour or two maybe before you have to bed down, and the club will start closing soon. I will say that Tess, you have a text message.
Okay.
I can't
Check that.
describe it because TOS, but it's from your it's from your lovely redheaded friend who you met. It
fuck,
is
what's her name?
Claire.
I was
Claire.
like, Chelsea? No, it started with a C.
Claire,
okay.
it is essentially like kind of cut off about here by the chin.
She sent me a nude?
No, not quite.
Oh.
It is essentially a very strategically placed, like, silk satin bed cover, which kind of like just about curves around at the right places and doesn't reveal anything too much, but is very effective on the imagination. Let's call it that. And essentially, you essentially get a hi. This is your first message from her, incidentally.
Yeah. When we go back to the coterie, the
Yeah.
salon, I am going to close the door, put on my most. No. Listen. It's not where you think it's going. It's not where you think it's. I promise.
Vandy,
I know TOS. Okay, that's why I'm not. No, I'm gonna put on one of my my more fun pieces of lingerie.
Yeah.
And take a selfie back.
Okay.
And send it and just say, "Hey," like. And I'm gonna keep the door closed, just.
Yeah. Look. Okay. So what we will say from that is that essentially some messages go back and forth. I'm not sexting with my players. I don't feel that puts me on a very strong standpoint, to be honest.
No, you're good.
I like my channel.
We just had a rebrand. What about another one?
What could go wrong?
What could go wrong?
Oh god.
But yeah, I'll like probably bid the two, like gonna be like, I have stuff to do, business.
Yeah.
Bye. Like, and I'll just like close the door and lock it and just.
You hear like clothes getting thrown around, like, where is it? God damn it!
Mm-hmm.
Pretty normal. It's pretty normal.
So, do either of you have anything else you'd like to do tonight?
I would have wanted to call in the office to see if there was a message back, but like, if not,
The message you
it's a bit
sent out.
pouty.
Yeah, the message you sent out was fairly not late, but
I know, but
there hasn't been a message back yet. No, but to ease Chris's worries, Chrys will still be worried regardless. But essentially, it's very possible that they had already gone out for the night and hadn't received the message. So
it's just also like,
yeah.
Okay. So Chrys is kind of a little grumpy-ish.
A little grumpy, yeah.
I think I would know that she was waiting for a message from her, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think
told you.
I'd see that and I'd be like, no word, huh?
I mean, is everyone mad at me for going away for a week? I mean, it was really good reason.
Yeah, you did have a good reason. It's just that they didn't. Well, she definitely didn't know that, right?
Well, like to be fair, only Kafka knew that because he suggested it.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe just if you know where she hangs out, we could go there tomorrow night.
I'm not sure that's the best because she was hanging out with Nathan, and Tess really doesn't like him, and he seems a little smooth, so I don't want to get involved with that, whatever that is, because I'm so great at talking my way out of situations.
You handled Sheldon pretty well. Thank you, by the way.
No problem. No, hopefully it helped, even though there was the after.
Yeah. I do feel a little bit better, and I'm just like playing with the cuff over the bracelet, kind of.
Do you think that helped with it or hindered?
I don't know. I mean, it's better, so it must have helped. Not sure.
So are you gonna keep practicing?
I think I have to.
I mean that's how you. I mean that's how you make it work for you, right? So you
Yeah.
don't just suddenly get good
A
at.
lot of the
Tattoo.
times that I've used my shadow, it's been life or death. Kind of
Mm-hmm.
not at my best situations.
To
So
be a little bit more accurate, it's just been death. Because very
Yeah.
often you've just straight up killed
Yeah.
people. But, you know, sure, life or death works too.
yeah, you know,
Well, it's important to have fun, as I have recently been told.
that's true.
I don't know how the spooky shadows can be fun, but
I mean, they are really cool looking. I don't know. I just think maybe if I use it in a way that's more controlled, in a situation that's more controlled, I can learn how to control it better.
Yeah.
Right?
That makes sense.
Yeah. I would try again with Leah. You know, maybe send a message that you're sorry you didn't message her and you want to tell her why. And you miss her or
Well-
something.
Well, I'll wait until tomorrow because it's pretty late now.
Yeah.
And then if I don't get anything back, then I'll figure it out. Then.
Yeah. If there's anything I can do, just say the word, okay?
Thanks.
I think I'm gonna go to bed, but maybe play in the dark a little.
Well, don't
TOS.
break the
TOS.
don't break the building.
No.
No.
With a candle, just one.
Please
That's
move on.
That's not a wax thing, folks.
So you all go to bed.
You all have dirty
Everyone-
minds. I'm literally
everyone-
talking about cute little shadow
Pandemic
puppets
is
on
not
the wall.
friendly. Okay.
So everyone's gone to bed. Everyone's asleep. Everything is fine. My channel's not being cancelled. We're gonna go back in time a little bit. So Alec.
Yeah. So it's bedtime. Good night.
Oh jeez. So as I was saying, Alec.
Yes.
You receive a knock at the door.
Front door or
Front
Christian?
door. Christian opens it and announces, a Mr. Katen here to see you, sir.
Marvellous. Thank you very much. Perhaps guide him here to the study.
Of course, sir. This way, please. You hear him obviously say, this way, please. And then at the door of your study, kind of like standing on the gateway, is Kale Katen.
I'll briskly stand up with my suit, let's say, ironed and tie adjusted. I'll give him a small bow. Mr. Katen, a pleasure to see you again.
And he returns the bow, kind of like matches the depth almost, and says, and yourself, of course, Mr. Is it Kellerman or is it Kovolos? It's Kovolos, isn't it?
Kovolos.
Yeah. Mr. Kovolos, a pleasure to see you again.
Absolutely. I have been looking forward to so much the opportunity to thank you in person for your politeness the other day at the meeting. Being the proverbial new kid on the block, one can never be sure what to expect, but your honor was very much appreciated.
Of course. And may I say myself, I find your manner and etiquette perfect as well yourself.
Appreciated, of course. And so, please, would you care to have a seat? I
Oh.
figure there would be a few things we could discuss.
Absolutely, I would love to. And sweeps over to a seat, sits down very prim and proper, and kind of puts his arms on the rest. Please, you first.
Well, truth be told, I have no secret agenda today, although I'm sure I have a few things on my mind, but I would be curious to hear what it is that makes you tick. Perhaps, if I may be so bold, what is it that one enjoys, so that I can know how to entertain you better in future?
Oh, it shifts from day to day. I must say, I find myself currently very much enjoying polite company and interesting conversations. So as long as you have plenty of that to spare, then we will have no problems.
Marvelous. Well, eclecticism is, of course, something to be celebrated. So, should you find your taste shifting, perhaps forewarning, and I shall attempt to accommodate.
Of course, I will keep you updated as the need arises.
Marvelous. And so I hear you are quite the entrepreneur, is that correct?
I try to be. I like to look after those below me, of course. So,
Both living and dead, or do you have a preference?
No preferential treatment here. I mean, there are needs that must be met, but as long as one does the best to look after one's own, I find everything works out in the end.
Indeed. I have been troubled as of recent with a small dilemma. A few individuals have been mugging in the area. I find it unnecessarily violent.
Of course. No, I completely agree. Well, kudos for keeping such a firm rein upon your ship, as it were. Mixed metaphors, please, excuse me.
Do not fret. If I may be able to ask, do you have any current dilemmas we may be able to muse on? Perhaps a joint strategy?
Not any that I'm aware of. However, I must admit, over the past few, let us say a week to 2 weeks, things have been quite tumultuous. So I haven't kept as much of a eye upon my domain as I maybe should have.
I see. Well, at least there are not flesh monsters on your doorstep anymore.
Indeed.
Yes. Did you ever catch a glimpse of the incoming threat? Do feel free, I will not judge.
No, I did not. I had limited interaction with the previous owners of this area. I merely seceded some territory over the fact that I did not really need it, and it was not aesthetically pleasing to me. However,
I see.
I find my taste shifting, and I'm happy to have it looking how it does now.
I see. Well, if that is what suits, then who am I to question? And if you do find yourself having issues with borders and areas, then do feel free to come and discuss.
Of course. I appreciate the offer.
Marvelous. And so, I would, if you do not mind, be curious your thoughts on the current democratic opportunities presented to this city.
Well, myself, I find myself intrigued, but not overly hopeful. I think we've probably seen enough of these endeavors, historically and otherwise, fail soon enough. But I'm interested to see where this proceeds. So I'm willing to go along, go with the flow, I think is a term.
That sounds very fair. I do share your skepticism, although equally perhaps it is something we can enjoy for as long as it lasts before something else happens. But I feel a degree of vigilance is perhaps needed.
Of course. And I think in that vein, once the need arises, we can probably adjust and adapt to whatever comes next.
Indeed. I do feel free, of course, to tell me to mind my own business, but would you be in need of any extra surveillance at all? It is somewhat of a forte of my own.
Oh, that would be very kind of you. I'm not really sure if there's anything I can offer you myself in return. However, I'd be willing to be open to requests or...
I have an idea. You say that you are a man of academics. I would like to be able to take what money I have and simply make more with it. Because at the end of the day, for everything that needs to be done, money is a good way to get one there.
Especially in the world of the kind, of the humans.
Of course. I have a rudimentary grasp on economics, but I would be curious, imagining that you have some local expertise to apply, or some fundamentals I have missed.
Of course. I'd be perfectly happy to help you. I'm assuming you're looking to, what is the word? Maybe plumpen up your domain?
Yes.
In terms of, the shops and the
Of course. Facilities.
Merchants and whatnot, yes.
Absolutely. Yes, there are a few needs and wants of those within, and I feel it would be fair. No, I feel it would be my duty to them to serve.
Absolutely. No, completely understand. Yes, I believe that would be a perfectly fair trade then.
Indeed. I will, with your permission, request you do not shoot any birds out of the sky anytime soon, as they will be watching over you. But are you happy to receive messages via animal? I always find it somewhat intrusive, but...
No, that is perfectly acceptable, as long as they are not, in fact, intrusive mentally.
I will try to keep them as unintrusive as possible. They tend to come in the form of a verbal message or something of the sorts.
No. Such things are acceptable to me. As my previous worry was that the access would be in. Sorry, sheepy is trying to think of the word.
No problem.
The access would be further into a person's mind. I'm assuming it is just effectively
sensory, let us say.
Yes, implanting a message, as it were,
Indeed.
as opposed to kind of rummaging around and looking at dirty laundry and whatnot.
Indeed. We should perhaps keep our skeletons in our closets.
Agreed.
Marvelous. I would assume you do not partake in the old-fashioned refreshments.
No, not for the sustenance or enjoyment of such, but at certain functions it does become a necessity, unfortunately.
Indeed. It is I do not even know if it is something I miss. I simply miss the idea of it at times.
Quite. And of course, at functions where you are entertaining officials and so forth, manners maketh the man, even if he
Yes.
may not beeth the man.
Indeed. Well, I will say I am enjoying this company, and I will insist you come back again. Perhaps we can organize one of the future meetings at one of our locales.
Of course.
Marvelous. And I do hope you will place some trust in me, in that should you be faced with a dilemma, I feel I have perhaps proven myself a worthy adventurer. I am willing to do what is necessary to secure my borders and those of my allies.
Wonderful. Well, if I find myself in need of a fellow adventuring companion, I will be sure to inquire for you first.
Marvelous. And I have been rude, of course. Is there anything you wish to ask of me, or now that we are alone, so to speak?
Merely if you find any likewise discrepancies in the population of my own domain upon your security
I see.
dalliances, just please inform me so I may correct the problems myself.
What sort of discrepancies, if you will, would you be most eager to know about? Where would your priorities lie?
Oh, the same as yourself. Lawlessness, vagabondery, all of these very
Yes.
disagreeable social acts.
Unnecessary violence.
Indeed.
Indeed. Well, that is good to hear. And I am right in assuming you are of the Malkavian clan.
I am indeed.
Marvelous. I have been utterly curious about how it works.
Oh, well, obviously I can't divulge the secrets of my,
Of course.
that I'm not allowed to divulge. The main thing that I can tell you is all of our, the members of my clan, the Kindred who, relax under the yoke of Malkavian, have a tendency to have some strange personality quirk or quirk of the mind that makes them act strange or bizarre, which people don't understand. Strangely enough, I seem to have been completely unaffected by such. So
Perhaps cursed with politeness.
possibly. If that is my curse, I will happily burden it.
Marvelous. And so, would there be anything else you would wish to discuss? I could always show you around the portion of town, but that would seem perhaps... Well, I imagine you have probably familiarized yourself already.
Oh, with my own domain, of course, but I would be perfectly happy to take a walk if you would like to show me the intricacies of your own domain.
Of course, that sounds... Perhaps a little walk show the ropes. And one thing I did forget to mention, if you find yourself or one of your companions in need of medical assistance, be it natural or otherwise, do knock.
Wonderful. I will, again, take note of that as well. So,
Good.
shall we be off, or would you like to arrange this for another time and night?
Well, I believe there is no time like the present, but as long as you feel our dress is appropriate, perhaps we will stand out a little, but...
Well, it does not hurt. We'll stand out a smidge now and then.
Indeed. Let us turn a few heads.
Very well. And you both get off and sort. Is this the happiest that Alex ever been?
Yeah. So, and Hyder is mettering Kale Katen's quirk.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
We'll talk. Like,
We'll come back to that later.
There was a moment where I think you snagged on to what's going on with him.
Yeah, it was when he said he wasn't cursed with anything, and it was a hunch till then, but I'm like, yeah, we'll see.
So I believe we'll fade out on the
sure.
The boys taking a tour of the.
Yeah, it is just a walk around.
Yeah.
Here is the shop I like. Here is the shop I dislike.
You know what? Give me a Let's go with charisma and essentially your choice of like etiquette and persuasion and the kind of social skills to just to go. I'll let you choose which one you want to use. They'll obviously have different effects depending on
I want to try and do a little bit of storytelling of the local history.
Oh, okay.
From what I would know. So, would you say performance or academics? Or...
I would say either performance or academics. Like, there'll be slight, like, depending on whether Kale is more interested in the presentation or the facts and the information.
Okay. And I won't go as far back as the Dark Ages, I don't think. Okay. So I'll leave out the specialities. Because I'm assuming there's probably a little bit here from that, but
yeah.
And charisma will be re-rolling, I'm sure. I'll take it. I'll take 3.
Okay. Yeah. No, it's a pleasant jaunt, and you talk about many weird and strange things in the past, and little intricacies about the area that you know, someone who didn't live here, which you haven't, probably wouldn't know, but if you research into it and take an interest, you find these things out.
I imagine Alec probably would have picked up just a very few. This used to be a farmhouse, or this building looks like it used to be probably a wealthy person's home, and speculate on the stories, and likely give some inklings as to he would quite like to return that to a market house, or he'd quite like that building to be a little bit less residential and more utility.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah.
So we fade out on that scene, and we fade in momentarily on Tess. Asleep, the sun's starting to come up, and you open your eyes. You are staring down upon yourself, in bed, asleep. And in the distance, you hear a very weak and very soft, not strong at all, howl. And we will end the episode there.
What the fuck?
Messing with the ghosties again.
Oh, I think.
But which ghosties? Cause that's Wolfie.
I know exactly what that is. I think. I think.
Oh. Oh boy.
What could possibly go wrong?
Yep. Yeah.
Wasn't the last time you messed with the ghost stuff when the ghost tried to kill you?
Yeah.
Yeah. It had been some time though.
So I think we have a lot to talk about at the end of this session. We'll start with probably the person who has the least like sus and worry, which is who already knows because I saw you nod, which is Tash.
It's me.
Yeah.
Hi. Chrys didn't like the tentacles and going to visit Sheldon really, but at least it's done and he didn't kill us.
Yeah.
So it went better than I anticipated. Yay. And he didn't want anything in return, which I doubt, but Chrys completely believes. So I think that's all going well, apart from the escapade in the street. You know, no big deal.
Yeah,
Slight masquerade breach.
We'll talk about that when we get to a certain someone.
That's fine. You know, it also occurred to me when that was happening that we never check our surroundings, like ever.
And
it happens to Chrys all the time.
I thought we like do that. Like I thought that was kind of like a given, you know, like we.
Well, like it happens to Chrys all the time. So the guy went to try and take her out, and he saw her just knock out a bat, as did Carrion. That's fine. Kafka turned up while she was talking to Cassius. It's chilling. It's like we really need to pay attention.
It's something I do on the regular, whereby there have been times when you are being followed and being watched, and you you never find out because you don't check or you don't ask. You know, it's you know, like you do sometimes get yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah.
It's something that's in my head, and I'm like.
Also,
well,
like I can tell you, because none of you have had the ability to see spirits. Like Tess doesn't have sense the unseen, and Nahari's only just managed to figure out the whole
spooky. I think.
Like, there's been lots and lots of times when there's been ghosts around you and you've had no idea. It's just something I've been playing with in the background in case you do certain things. So
great.
Cool.
It's creepy, right? Yeah. Welcome. Yeah. I'm not even gonna say welcome to VTM, but
the world of darkness. And I think I hope that Leah replies to Chrys soon, because otherwise Chrys is gonna go find her.
Yeah.
And I really don't think it's gonna go well.
You never know.
I mean, she's probably gonna be really mad. But I guess we'll find out.
We'll move over to Hydra and also Alec, because I imagine you want to have a little bit of a sus of
a sus.
Yeah.
Well, my mind went back to Kael-Katen being very similar to Mac when Mac spoke to him.
Yeah.
And that's my only other experience of speaking to him. But for such a contrast, and both of those contrasts mimicking the character he was speaking to, that seems... It's just a shame the other group didn't all go meet him because they would have loved him.
Yeah,
but that's hilarious.
Yeah, and you're totally right. Like, the quirk that, so Kale, like his, I don't think we're gonna have much more of Kale, so we can talk about Kale a little bit. The interesting thing about Kale is his goal has always been to, keep the situation rolling as long as he could, which is why he gave up that territory. It's why he's kind of been, like, passive in the background, because he doesn't want to disturb this really interesting, like, evolution of the city. That's his own, like, personal goals and that type of thing. The problem is that he, like, his deal as Malkavian is all about auras and, like, sometimes seeing hints of the future and all of these type of things. He basically vibes with someone's aura and slots into it. So every time he chills with someone, he's that person, and he has their, like, quirks and their weird, you know, tendencies and stuff. So everyone, the reason why no one has fucked with Kale very much is because you sit down with him and you think, this dude's really cool. Like, he's exactly the same as me. He's so interesting. We're interested in the same things. We talk about the same stuff, and it's like that's almost like a bizarre defense mechanism for him, and it's his Malkavian shit. So yeah, when did you notice when Mac was there, he kept kind of like semi-switching and like having these like jarring jutters?
Yeah.
It's because Mac and Marlowe and Hamilton Gibbs were three different personalities, and Kale was like flitting between each one and having difficulty like settling.
Right.
Which is why he was so out there and
Yeah, no, that was a cool little thing to twig. That's cool.
It's hell of a fucking setup, wasn't it? It's like 20 plus episodes ago.
Yeah. No, the stroll around town will be pleasant, I'm sure. And I think because it's rare to find someone that makes such an effort to be so polite, he will be invited to many dinner parties and many meets, as well as Alec is fairly happy to provide surveillance to as many as possible, because the more you know, the more you know.
I also think that I think next episode we're probably going to be able to wrap Alec up. We've got like you've got one thing that that Alec probably wants to get sorted, which is the vagabonds, and I have one thing that's going to crop up next week. So after that'll be kind of like Alec settled in as like a very and maybe you can tell
part
everyone
of the furniture.
Maybe you can tell everyone for definite what clan he is.
Maybe, yeah. Tell them how Tremere I am.
Yeah.
Secrets.
So, it's such a choice. There's, let's move to the right over to Vandy, who probably had the biggest oh god moment of the episode.
Yeah, didn't realize that's what you meant by don't address them. So
it was one of those things where none of you audibly recognized that when you walked in and he said, "Oh, the four of you," he had his sight on, so he saw four of you walk in, and he went, "Oh, there's four of you," and then you were like, "What?" And he was like, "Oh, that's a ghost. The three of you, please sit down," and
Well, that's why when I saw that, like when I actually got to see Nahari's, I was like, "Oh, four! There you are. Okay." And then, oh my god, you have five over there? Like four people plus you? Goddamn.
And then you acknowledged his, so he was like, "Well, she probably saw the other one. That one's not such a cool one. Maybe don't mention anything like while you're, hanging around."
Yeah, so yeah, that one's got some anger issues, I think.
Can you blame
So,
him?
Not really.
I'm pretty sure I ate him. So
Yeah, so that's gonna be like eventually like Tess and Nahari are gonna have a conversation where it's like you're gonna need to just address your past.
Do you
I'm
want
a
to
little
know?
worried about helping you with that, but
Do you want to know something interesting? You came so close to finding something out, as Tess. Like so close.
like looking at the dude or talking to the dude.
I have no more information for you than that. It's basically like you were so close to figuring something out, and yeah.
Did it have to do with a fireplace?
Could be.
God damn it!
damn it, GB.
I was like looking at the fireplace and shit. God damn it! I was gonna light it up. Fuck. Anyway, okay. Well, that's annoying. Now I don't know. I don't even know what it was. But anyways, yeah. So, long story short, Tess hasn't actually delved too far into the Sari stuff, but it's still like there and interesting and like,
Yeah.
You know, we probably won't be able to get too far into it, but I don't expect it. Well, I don't expect that we would. Like
you went down a certain path recently, so
okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, Tessa's whole motivation for that would be to help Nahari kind of figure her shit out.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it doesn't really mean anything to her very much. Other than like it's kind of nice to communicate with Winnie every once in a while, but even then like she's got weird feels about Winnie that she's still getting over.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. She's pretty much over it at this point, but you know.
It's got a little sting to it, I guess, where it's like there's still that like ever-present sting of betrayal that Tess feels about basically anyone in her life almost at this point.
Kind of.
Not all of them are fair, but you know.
No, but the one with Winnie, even like that, and reading the book and everything, and getting the info from Cass,
Yeah,
was almost a way to start, kind of like amending that. Like she at this point has more love for Winnie than the sting of betrayal or whatever.
Yeah,
It's still there, but like, you know.
I mean, Tess always had a soft spot for Winnie regardless, so I think that made the anger a bit more. And like Tess has always been very impulsive, so she kind of has this like, I hate him, he's the worst, I miss him, god damn it, which is gonna be fun for Castor, when they go on their dates. And then also there's the fact that even though she's got the puppy dog love for Castor, like interest, still can't resist a hot redhead who starts the little chain of naughties.
Yeah, I have a feeling that Tess is gonna end up breaking both of their hearts. So yeah. We'll see.
Yeah, and finally over to Tess Aquila and Nahari. How you doing?
I'm alright. That was cool. It was cool and scary and awesome and good. So she did say enough that Nahari now knows that the guy she killed is basically following her around.
It sounds like it, yeah.
Yeah. So she's definitely gonna be like trying to figure out how to deal with that, which is cool. Yeah, I didn't know before today whether it was like I had that suspicion, but I also was like, it could be some ancient Lasombra teacher, or who knows. So I'm very glad we found that out. I'm very glad that Tess took that chance, even though it almost ended badly.
It wasn't much taking a chance so much as like
I thought the
doing
same
a
as
dumb.
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally thought
Misinterpreting the
same as
words.
you. Yeah. I thought that we would have to have the stuff turned on and like be talking to him in order for it to be a problem. Which, yeah. But it gave me the opportunity to get a little control back. That was cool.
Yeah. You may notice something about the guy's role.
Yeah, his name also is in there.
Noticed.
You noticed? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I'll say this. I've had the sheet for Alam for a little while. He is the dude who you sired, who
Jumped on.
who you jumped on. He has a character sheet. If you were to compare it to yours, it would be exactly the same.
Oh.
Oh, so
He's
you're.
on
I was gonna say like the
300 to
hunger.
Oblivion.
So I'm basically fighting myself. Kind of.
So anyway, yeah, there you go, guys.
Oh God, what does that mean, Chibi?
It's we've had very minor moments of it, but I can finally say welcome to being GM'd by Sheepdog. We're ramping up the landmines for Tess Aquila now. Everyone else has experienced them. It's time for you.
Joy, emotional trauma.
It's cool.
That's our theme
It's all good.
song. Yeah.
It's great. It's great. It's very cool to roleplay. So I appreciate the challenge.
I literally just got like an image in my head of Tess Aquila just going like, or Tess Aquila going, emotional trauma is cool with like finger guns to the camera, just like oh fuck.
Do you have an emo?
Oh, yeah, there you go. So please, everyone, go follow these lovely people at the places where they do their things. Links will be in description. As ever, there are still links for Josh as well if you want to go check him out. There's a lot of vampire stuff. Good to go give them some love. Hydra is doing, I believe you're on season 2 of your Warhammer Fantasy campaign.
That's kicked off. GM tip series coming out next video tomorrow.
GM tip series, yeah.
Ooh.
Mainly on archetypal storytelling, the hero's journey.
Okay.
So very Aristotelian stuff, but kind of useful for life.
Yeah. And hey, we basically did a whole episode. We started like quite late, and we are finishing a little bit early. But fuck it, it's basically a whole episode, right? Don't judge us.
It's just a good stopping point, like for the next scenes. It's the ways to be here for another hour.
you know, I love to just drop that like, what the fuck is happening with Tess cliffhanger where it pisses Vandy off, and yeah. And don't forget to tune in on Friday at 7 p.m. Where it's going to be me and Josh doing the Wandering In podcast. I'm gonna call it Barbarul, essentially. And we're going to talk about all things Josh and Gaming FTL, all the projects and things he wants to talk about, and then a little tier listing, which is going to be torture for him.
Is that Friday or Wednesday?
Wednesday. Yeah.
Oh, you said Friday.
You said Friday.
So
I said Friday. I meant Wednesday.
Wednesday on twitch.tv/The Wandering In.
At 7 p.m. UK time. So same time as Sunkist starts.
Yeah. So 2 p.m. Eastern.
And with that horrific, embarrassing mix of days, let's sign off. So those of you on Twitch, those on YouTube, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to engage however you want to engage. And yeah, we'll see you next week for Sunkissed, where everything will be fine.